At number 10, Dakota Johnson and friends. In most establishments, there's a rule against smoking. These days, smoking and vaping is not allowed indoors, and there are designated areas for people to do that outside. This really isn't anything new, but there are still those select few who choose to disregard those rules and guidelines and do it anyway. This is how a scandal was caused at the Met Gala in 2017. A handful of celebrities who attended the gala that year were caught smoking in the venue's bathroom, and they broke one of the gala's set rules against smoking in the venue. Every year, the Met Gala is held at the Metropolitan Museum, and since it's in New York, the city health department has a rule against smoking in specific areas as per one of their health acts. But it seems that although this rule was still in effect at the time of the gala, some celebrities were like nah and had a couple cigarettes inside it regardless. Stars like Dakota Johnson, Bella Hadid, Rami Malek, and others were posting their little rendezvous on social media, which is how they got caught and got into some trouble for it as well. As a result of their rule breaking, the gala as well as the health department put measures in place to make sure that this kind of thing never happened again so that no one would get fined. Spoiler alert, it happened again. At number 9, Alex Rodriguez and Jennifer Lopez. There is a pretty strict rule that the Met Gala has put in place that says that you cannot post pictures from inside the event, and that means no selfies. There's also a rule against cell phones at the event as well, almost to ensure that no one can take selfies even if they wanted to. Well, a lot of people, as you will see, have broken those rules on several occasions, and we're going to start with Alex Rodriguez and Jennifer Lopez, who broke the no selfie rule at the Met Gala in 2019. A-Rod and J-Lo took a number of selfies that night. First, they took a photo with their friends Kim K and Kanye West, and A-Rod posted that photo on his Instagram. Later on, he posted a selfie of him and J-Lo to his Instagram story, and yet another Insta story post, this time with Jimmy Fallon. Really, A-Rod was the one who broke the rule because every picture was posted on his account, but J-Lo was kind of his accomplice. Now, before I carry on with the video, I would like to take a moment to ask you guys to consider leaving a like on this video if you're enjoying it so far, and also consider subscribing to the channel so you can keep seeing awesome videos like this one. At number 8, Keke Palmer. Next, we seemingly have two rules that were broken, but not necessarily by the same person. At this year's Met Gala, Keke Palmer was in attendance, and being the real one that she is, she wanted to show her followers what things were really like for celebrities who went to the event. No one really knows what goes on at the event once everyone goes inside, but Keke wanted to at least give her followers a look at what the dining experience was like, and it's not the most flattering thing ever. Keke broke the no photos rule by taking a picture of her plate of food at the event and posting it to her Instagram story. The response was pretty negative because a lot of people figured that for a $30,000 ticket, the food should have been at least a little more impressive. But as I said, another rule was also broken with that photo, and chef Marcus Samuelsson was the one to sort of break it. On top of all the other Met Gala rules like no smoking, no publicists, everyone being obliged to mingle, and so on, there's also a rule that the food being served must be, quote, attractive. Now, unless they're talking about their human sacrifice, because the Met is obviously an Illuminati event, I'm pretty sure this means that the food has to look presentable. Now, judging by Keke's photo of the food, the argument could be made that the chef broke the attractive food rule. No one has said anything about the chef getting in trouble for what Keke posted about his plating, but you never know. It's the Illuminati after all. At number 7, Laura Harrier. Here's another celebrity who broke the no selfie rule at the Met Gala in 2019. Actress and model Laura Harrier was attending the event, and she seemed to have run into her Spider-Man Homecoming castmate Zendaya. Obviously, they had to snap a photo together, and Laura posted a couple of selfies with her to her Instagram story. Again, this broke the no selfie rule as well as the no cell phone rule, but honestly, at this point, I kind of have to ask myself if these rules are really even all that enforced, because clearly there are a lot of celebrities going around and posing and posting, and no one's heard anything about people really facing any consequences for it. Do you think that these rules are actually real, or do you think that they're made up to make the event seem more strict and elite? At number 6, Luka Sabbat and Cole Sprouse. Here's a couple of bad boys breaking a couple of rules at the 2019 Met Gala. Luka Sabbat and Cole Sprouse were caught breaking several rules all at once, and that is a big no-no. Not only did they break the no selfies rule, being that they were caught doing a mirror selfie, but they also broke the rule against having phones at the event because A, they took a selfie on a phone, and B, the phone was featured in the mirror selfie. Most importantly though, they broke the no smoking rule. These two were caught having a quick smoke in the bathroom at the Met, and as we all know, you cannot smoke inside, especially at an event like this. What's funny about the picture too is the fact fact that there was a no smoking sign in the shot. They just decided to ignore it. But even after this one instance of rule breaking, Luka continued to be rebellious at the event, going around taking pictures of other celebrities. Not necessarily selfies, but just other photos of celebrities like Gwen Stefani, Katy Perry, Ezra Miller, and Kendall Jenner. At number 5, Serena Williams and Ciara. More selfie rule breakers here. Famous tennis player Serena Williams and singer Ciara broke Met Gala rules back in 2019 when they decided to sneak a cheeky little mirror selfie together. Unlike many other selfie rule breakers, they only took one photo and just left it at that. But at this point, with so many celebrities breaking the same rule, I just have to think that maybe they should just get rid of the rule altogether, right? I mean, no one is following this rule, and no one hears of any officials enforcing this rule, so why not let these celebrities just take their photos in peace? They're gonna do it anyway, right? Anyway, Serena snapped this photo and posted it to her Instagram, showing off their campy dresses, which didn't actually break the rules because they totally matched the theme, so at least it didn't go there breaking all of the rules. At number 4, Kim Kardashian. Kim K has tried to bring the thunder for every Met Gala she's attended. I mean, this year's look was a little debatable because she kind of just looked like someone's sleep paralysis demon, but whatever. Anyways, Kim has been trying to serve looks at every event, but in 2013 not only did she not serve, but she totally missed the mark and completely broke the rules. The theme of the Met Gala that year was punk, chaos, and couture, and so a lot of people showed up wearing some kind of take on edgy fashion. There was a lot of variations on punk style and aesthetic, but Kim totally dropped the ball when she showed up to the event wearing a floor-length floral dress. The look just didn't match with the theme at all, and the tone of her outfit was much softer and brighter than the looks of most other celebrities in attendance, and so she stuck out that night. She totally broke the rule for not following the theme, and that probably didn't help her case with Anna Wintour, one of the people who runs the event, but up until the point that Kim got with Kanye, Anna hated the Kardashians and never invited them to the event. At number 3, Lizzo. Back on our rule breaker train, we have Lizzo, who at the Met Gala in 2019 broke the no selfie rule several times because she had a field day taking photos with a bunch of celebrities at the event. I'm going to chalk this all up to the fact that this was her first Met Gala and she was excited to be there, but she broke the rules nonetheless. Over the course of the evening, the singer took selfies with J-Lo, Sarah Paulson, Tracy Ellis Ross, Billy Porter, and Dua Lipa. All of her selfies were posted to her Instagram story, and it was pretty fun to watch her having so much fun at the event because I remember seeing these Instagram posts, but at the time I didn't know that there was a rule against the selfies. I wonder if any of the event's authorities were also watching Lizzo's story that night, seeing her break the no selfie rule over and over again. At number 2, Demi Lovato. Back in 2016, Demi Lovato attended the Met Gala, and the theme for that night was Manus Ex Machina, fashion in an age of technology. Though the dress that they wore to the event that night was very nice and bold, a lot of people found that the look just wasn't fitting the gala's theme, therefore breaking one of the event's rules. Well, when backlash started to ensue, the designer of the dress in question came out to clarify things, saying that the dress wasn't even designed to fit the theme in the first place. The designer, Jeremy Scott, told sources that he doesn't design outfits for the event with a theme in mind. The designer then went on to tell the source, quote, "I really don't participate with that whole theme thing," end quote. So Demi went to the event wearing a dress that they knew wasn't going to fit the theme and still wore it anyway to break the rules intentionally. I think that's pretty bold, but let's just hope that they didn't get into too much trouble. And finally, at number 1, Karlie Kloss. The Met Gala is all about fashion, and there's that rule that says that those who attend the event must try and coordinate their looks to fit the theme set for that night. There have been many extravagant looks and other more simplistic ones, but the whole point is just to go along with the overall energy of the event regardless. One person who actually faced backlash and broke the rules for not meeting the event standards was Karlie Kloss. Karlie showed up to the Met Gala in 2019, whose event was camp themed, and she was looking a little too simple for the event, wearing a black and gold dress with simple jewelry, natural makeup, and a simple hairstyle. A lot of fans were seriously let down by her outfit that evening, especially after she tweeted about her look, hyping it up and saying, quote, "Looking camp right in the eye." She didn't necessarily get in that much trouble with people who organized the event, but Karlie's fans got pretty upset that she didn't follow the Met Gala's theme, and she faced a pretty decent amount of criticism. She had to make an apology for her look shortly after the event, and she posted a video to her YouTube channel addressing the situation, saying that she should have just tried harder. Kicking things off at number 10, Tom Brady. For a while there were restrictions in place which prohibited the use of parks or other recreational sites and facilities. But Tom Brady seemed to have glossed over that rule and decided to keep working out in a Tampa Bay park regardless. Even though the park was mostly empty, Tom still wasn't permitted to be in the area, according to city officials. Did anyone else have that phase during quarantine where you took walks? I did. I never had the desire to leave my house until we were told to stay inside, and after being indoors for days and weeks on end, sometimes just need an hour of socially distanced fresh air. Anyway, the mayor of Tampa, Jane Castor, explained that a city worker had to tell Brady to go home, and the City of Tampa Twitter page even tweeted at the football player saying to not use the park. It's kind of embarrassing, but hey, at least he learned his lesson. At number 9, Josh Brolin. Josh Brolin was called out on social media for having broken social distancing protocol when he went to visit his father, James Brolin, and stepmother, Barbra Streisand. Side note, did anyone know that his stepmother was Barbra Streisand? That's kind of surprising to me. He posted a picture to his Instagram of him and his family gathered on their front porch, but fans were quick to point out that they were breaking the rules by not being 6 feet apart. Josh later took the post down and issued an apology to his fans where he called their response humbling. He said, quote, "My father lives next door to us and we had a plan to go see them and not be near them, and that plan was broken and that's our responsibility. I think it was irresponsible," end quote. He owned up to his mistakes, and I really like that he did. It's not every day that we see celebrities take full accountability for their actions and actually thank their followers for calling them out on their mistakes. I'm sure Josh did take this as a learning experience. Before I continue with the rest of the list, go ahead and leave a like on this video if you're enjoying it so far. It really helps us if you smash that like, so go show us some love. Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber came under fire this year after allegedly neglecting to social distance. Though there were reports that Justin and his wife Hailey were coming to Canada to shelter in place during the pandemic, some fans caught the Biebs hanging out with some people who weren't part of his household. He and Hailey had been posting a lot to their social media from their home in the Great White North, but after posing for pics with his siblings, Bieber faced some backlash as he wasn't socially distanced from his family. Though they are relatives, they weren't part of his household whom he had been quarantining with, and so a lot of fans called him out for breaking the social distancing rules. Not one of the biggest offenses out there, but still noteworthy nonetheless. In at 7, Evangeline Lilly. Earlier this year, actress Evangeline Lilly faced some scrutiny after saying that she wouldn't self-isolate. In an Instagram post, she voiced her opinion on the global health crisis, calling it a respiratory flu and saying that the call to self-isolate was, quote, "too close to martial law for her liking." As a lot of her followers pointed out, the call to self-isolate and social distance isn't just for her own safety, but also for the safety of others. Evangeline was living with her father who had late-stage leukemia and so was already immunocompromised. In her post, she also pointed out that she herself was immunocompromised, but said, quote, "some people value their lives over freedom, some people value freedom over their lives, we all make our choices," end quote. Though many of her followers pointed out that this mentality was incredibly selfish, she later went back on her words saying, quote, "I want to offer my sincere and heartfelt apology for the insensitivity I showed in my previous post to the very real suffering and fear that gripped the world through COVID-19. Grandparents, parents, children, sisters, and brothers are dying. The world is rallying to find a way to stop this very real threat, and my ensuing silence has sent a dismissive, arrogant, and cryptic message." She went on to say that she was just speaking on her own fears and never meant to hurt anyone, as she meant to instill calm into the situation. At number 6, Kylie Jenner. Though there were shelter-in-place orders in California earlier this year, it seems like Kylie Jenner just couldn't sit still and had to go pay her friend a little visit. Kylie was photographed on her way to go visit her friend Stassi, and later it is said that Jenner invited her friend to her house. Many of Kylie's fans were very serious about the pandemic precautions that were in place and called the makeup mogul out on the fact that she didn't even try to hide the fact that she had Stassi in her house, as the two posted photos of each other on their respective social media platforms. On top of that, fans also called out Kylie on the fact that she had previously encouraged her fans to practice social distancing and follow pandemic safety protocols, but meanwhile they caught her with someone who was not in her own household or social bubble. On top of this, Kylie's sister Kim also revealed that she broke social distancing to have Kylie do her makeup for an appearance on the Jimmy Fallon show. Halfway through at number 5, Iggy Azalea. Iggy Azalea has also experienced her share of pandemic backlash, as she was called out by her fans for endangering the safety of another. It was reported that Iggy had hired a nail technician to come to her house. At the time of this incident, all non-essential workers were told to stay home, but Iggy and her nail tech broke this rule so that the rapper could get a fresh set. Iggy tweeted out saying, quote, "Getting your nails done and they turn out just the way you wanted really does put you in the best mood." After this, fans really started coming for the fancy rapper as they began reprimanding her for having broken the rules. To this, Iggy tweeted, quote, "If I want to risk having a worker in my home, that is my business, not yours. I haven't left my house, so if she did, that's my choice to stay here and be sick. Also, she's a nail tech, masked and gloved. Relax, we weren't tongue kissing, I promise." Iggy's fans demanded accountability, but I don't think they got what they asked for. And at 4, Ivanka Trump. Ivanka Trump faced some backlash this year as she was caught traveling, even though there were guidelines in place which advised against non-essential travel. She and her family have reportedly been traveling from New Jersey to Washington for the Easter weekend. Her weekend travels prompted some backlash from people who called her out for leaving her home for unnecessary travel, rather than staying at home and following the government protocols like she had advised many Americans to do shortly before her trip. An official statement was released on Ivanka's behalf which said, quote, "Ivanka with her immediate family celebrated Passover at a closed-down facility considered to be a family home. Her travel was no different than had she been traveling to and from work, and the location was less populated than the surrounding area near her home in DC." Coming in at number 3, Madonna. Madonna was seen traveling from the UK to New York back in May in order to attend Stephen Klein's birthday. The pop star, who had been seen hugging Klein at their gathering, had shared with her followers just a few days before her trip that she had previously tested positive for COVID, where she suggested that she was an asymptomatic carrier of the illness. She revealed that upon testing, it was discovered that she had possessed COVID-19 antibodies and said, quote, "So tomorrow I'm going to go for a long drive in the car and I'm going to breathe in the COVID-19 air," end quote. According to the World Health Organization, having antibodies doesn't make you immune to the virus, it only helps you fight it off better if you were to have caught the virus again. At number 2, Gordon Ramsay. Chef Gordon Ramsay ruffled a few feathers earlier this year because he wasn't obeying the UK's COVID lockdown. According to their rules, lockdown restrictions prohibited unlimited exercise and long distance travel, and they really just wanted people to stay in their homes until restrictions were lifted. But it seems like Chef Ramsay had other plans. During the lockdown, he and his family traveled to their second home in Cornwall. It was there that people saw Gordon sharing pictures of himself cycling around the area and traveling up to 25 miles away from his property. This really seemed to have angered locals in the area, and it even prompted the Maritime Coast Guard Agency to issue him a warning for breaking the lockdown restrictions. The agency reportedly issued a statement about the chef saying, quote, "We have reports of him being seen in dozens of different places since lockdown started. He does not seem to be obeying the rules regarding social distancing, exercising, and staying at home." Just recently, Gordon had to shut down his many restaurants for the second time this year due to the pandemic, so hopefully Gordon respects the safety guidelines this time around as the country goes back into lockdown. Finally, at number 1, Kendall Jenner. Kendall Jenner has been in the news lately for having thrown a party during the pandemic. Over the Halloween weekend, the model invited friends and family to celebrate her birthday and Halloween at the One Hotel in West Hollywood. Though it was revealed by mom Kris Jenner that everyone in attendance received a rapid COVID test before being allowed entry, there were some fans who were still upset with the party. Many people pointed out that the rapid test that would have been used for the party may only detect about 32% of positive cases. This, combined with the fact that no one in attendance was wearing a mask or social distancing, made fans upset. As many celebrities shared photos and videos of the evening, fans couldn't help but point out the lack of safety precautions in place at their get-together, and have been asking for accountability to be taken.